Hello guys, in this video we will see what are bind mount volumes and tmpfs volumes. So let's get started. So a bind mount is a method for sharing files or directories between the host system and the Docker container. It allows you to map a specific path or directory on the host to a path within the container, effectively binding them together. So basically, bind mounts establish a direct link between the host and the container's file system. So bind mounts are commonly used for sharing configuration files or scripts from the host with the container. So let's see how we can create bind mounts. So first let's check the images. Now first let's create a folder here, a new folder, and rename this to data. You can see it's a blank folder, and now let's create a container, uh, docker run and -c for detach mode, and here give any name to the container like uh, MySQL demo. And now here you have to mention the -v for the volume, and here you have to give the path of the folder which we have just created. So right now we are in the home directory, and let's open another CMD prompt, and here cd desktop and cd data, and you can see here it is the path of the data folder. So just copy it and mention it here. So it is the path of the folder which we are now using for the bind mount. So now colon, and here you have to give the MySQL's volume path. That is, let's see. So it is the path for the volumes of the MySQL container. So we have to mention this path. Just copy it and paste. So here we are binding this path with the containers, this path. So after that, we have to mention the MySQL's environment variable, that is uh, low empty password, and here make it true. And after that, you have to give the image name. So here is our command docker run -d in detach mode. Here is the name of the container, and we are using volume and v for volume, and we are binding this path of the folder to this path of the container, and here's the environment variable and the image name. So all right, so press enter. So you can see it returns the container ID. So our container is now running. So now if we check the data folder here, you can see MySQL containers data is now automatically created here, and now it is still loading. So over this folder is now binded with the container. So all the data of the container is now available here. So next we have tmpfs volume. So tmpfs volume is a type of Docker volume in which data is stored in RAM instead of disk. This means that any data is written to a tmpfs volume is stored in memory, and it exists only for the duration of the container's lifecycle. Once the container stops or is removed, the data in a tmpfs volume is lost. So tmpfs volumes are commonly used for scenarios where you need a fast or disposable data option, like creating a temporary workspace for computations or processes that requires fast access to data. So you can see here in the Docker documents, uh, here's the limitations of the TempFS mounts. Unlike volumes and bind mounts, you can't share TempFS mounts between containers. And this functionality is only available if you are running Docker on Linux. So now let's try TempFS volumes. Now let's create a container. To create a TempFS volume, we have to mention here minus minus TempFS, and after that we have to mention the volume path for our image. So our command here says docker run minus the detach mode, and the name is mysql demo 2 and tempfs volume, and here is the path of the container's volume, and here we mention the environment variable, and here is the image. So let's try this command. So you can see our container is now created. So we can verify our tempfs volume using inspect command. Let's inspect this container. Docker inspect this container. Here you can see tempfs temporary file storage to this path. Now let's try to inspect the other container. Docker inspect the second one. And you can see here it is showing the mounts type bind, and the source is our the data folder, and the destination is our MySQL. And here you can't see the tempfs thing. See, so in this way you can use both bind mounts or a tempfs according to your need. So that's it for now. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If there is any query or any issue, please tell me in the comment section. Thanks for watching.